can I accomplish anything? And you just start to feel so jaded, and you've worked so hard to do all of that. You know, you've sprinted your whole life and you have nothing to show for it, and really things are just in shambles. And now it's not only you that's burnt out, but your relationships are burning down, your career's burning down, and the best return on investment is happiness and joy. You can only grow so far in your career as you've grown in your emotions and your ability to manage yourself. Hey everybody, I'm Alexis. So in this video, I want to talk about burnout and how it happens and how to avoid it. And basically the 4 resources that I think are the most important to steward in your life so that you don't reach burnout. I think a lot of the reason that people reach burnout is because they are in pursuit of self-worth and money. And I want to go over the 4 areas of your life that's really important to develop routines and self-knowledge around. So let's get into it. Hey everybody, I'm Alexis. This is our neighbor's cat, Pikachu, back there. So I want to talk about the stages that you might go through as you are starting something new. So I think stage 1 is you are like completely jacked about it and you're like, this is so fun, I'm just gonna go, learn. And what you do is you start off at a sprint, which is fun for a while and you have the energy and you have the motivation because it's kind of like the beginner's high, I guess, so to say. And then you get to the point where you just can't do it anymore. And you didn't realize that was gonna happen at the beginning, but you get to the point where you're like, man, I really outdid myself. And then when you look back at what you were doing before, you're like, man, I used to be doing so much. How come I can't do that now? I used to be doing this. How come I can't keep up with my old self? And it's just because you're in it for the long haul now. You know more, you're past the beginner's high, and there are just things that happen. At any point in the game, if it feels like a sprint, that's a red flag. One thing that I think is so important is to not see whatever you're going after like a race that has a competition. Like you have to think about what is motivating you to sprint so hard. And I think a lot of times in my life, the thing that's motivating me to sprint so hard is other people. I'm looking at other people that are further ahead of me and I'm like, why aren't I there yet? So I like push myself and push myself and push myself. But the thing is, they got a head start. They're more advanced, they're further years along. And I'm basically just like killing myself trying to keep up with these people. When instead of this competitive mindset, the 2 indicators of success are cocooning yourself. So not paying attention to other people around you. You cocoon yourself, you get off social media, you don't look at what other people are doing because it just discourages you when they're doing better than you. And then who needs the pride of when you're doing better than them? Just like the comparison sucks. Plus you turn out to be copies of other people. You get this culture and then everyone starts looking the same and doing the same jokes and stuff. And then 2, patience. And I think a lot of us do not have patience. We like to treat everything like a sprint. We prefer to sprint and stop and sprint and stop. But I think there's something really beautiful when you have the endurance to keep going, and I feel like it makes a better end product. If you are burnt out and you are looking for this video to say, okay, here's your motivation, get back up and start sprinting. That's not what this video is. Actually, this is me giving you permission to slow down. The ROI that you want is happiness. I think the ultimate ROI is happiness and joy. And sprinting and hating it and taking a break, and sprinting and hating it and taking a break is not what's gonna get you there. Because when you are in those breaks, you're just feeling a bunch of shame, like how come I'm not getting it there? Wow, I should be going. And then when you're sprinting, you're just exhausted and you're like, man, this is really hard. So that is not giving you the ultimate ROI of happiness and joy. And that's what you really have, that is the measurement that we are using. The best return on investment is happiness and joy. That brings me to my next thing. A lot of people really value money as a valuable resource, but I think the 4 most valuable resources are time, energy, emotions, and mindset. And if you are doing day-to-day actions that are killing any of those things, that is a major red flag. I always am doing the best when I manage those things well. By time, it means that I'm not spending time on social media. It means I'm not killing myself with work all the time. It means I structure my day, I've set hours, and I do not work beyond those hours. And during that time, I really work. But I manage my time in a way that aligns with my priorities, and that's work and relationships and fun. And if it's not part of those things and social media does not highly contribute to any of those things, I don't do it. Second one's energy. I have gotten really good at managing sleep times and wake times. Like I'm getting up at 5:30 now because I get a boost of energy in the morning. I'm really managing what I eat. I couldn't wake up that early if I wasn't drinking a bunch of water in the morning and drinking shakes and having green tea instead of coffee. I mean, you have to manage your energy. I could not get so many things done if I was eating like crap. The next one is emotions. You cannot grind while you are feeling depressed or sad or anxious or angry and have it not come off in whatever you're creating or in your content. People can tell when you're being fake. People can tell when you don't feel good. It rubs off on your relationships and just, it doesn't feel good personally to yourself. So I have journaling routines. I read a lot of books around emotions. I do a lot of praying. I mean, these are things that really help me keep my emotions, because whenever I have had hindrances, energy is probably the first thing that derails me, and emotions quickly follow with my energy. And the last one is mindset. And I really make time for motivational books. That is the best thing to keep me on track. I listen to motivational music and I read a lot of motivational books, and it keeps me recharged. It keeps me excited about the thing. It kind of keeps that beginner's high alive within me. So I think the biggest thing is that you have to stop in these areas in order to go in your work life. Like, you have to stop to go. You have to stop and be present with your emotions so that you can go into your work life. It takes a lot of depth. I think a lot of people in our culture do not want to address their emotions, do not want to address their bodies, to really stop and think about the important things that are actually holding them back, and that keeps you static. You can only grow so far in your career as you've grown in your emotions and your ability to manage yourself. And to the depth of which you know yourself, that's the depth of which you can have impact in your career and with other people. So it's so important to stop and get that all good and solid first. And when you do this, it is just amazing the things that you can reach. I just think about the times that I've had my time and my energy and my mindset and emotions all in alignment, and you just feel like unstoppable, just like an energy like fireball, just going and getting things done. It doesn't feel like you're just like this little wick. It feels like you're creating energy, and you just like keep on going, and you just create so much impact, it feels like. And if you do not get this under control, if you've created a habit of getting burnt out, this will just keep happening. Whether you change careers, you'll get burnt out in this career, then you'll switch, you go to this one, get burnt out. And you can only do that so many times before this is really considered to be like a crisis in your life. And now it's not only happening in careers, but it's also happening in relationships. And then you start to really question your self-worth, like, can I accomplish anything? And you just start to feel so jaded, and you've worked so hard to do all of that. You know, you've sprinted your whole life and you have nothing to show for it, and really things are just in shambles. And now it's not only you that's burnt out, but your relationships are burning down, your career's burning down, and it has serious consequences if you don't get straight with yourself and figure out who you are and what you want and what it really takes to get your needs met. And getting really real with your emotions and your energy, I think those 4 components are huge. And if you are not intentional with taking breaks, I mean, I've heard the quote, you either take the break or the break takes itself. And I might add on to that, you take the break or you're gonna break. I mean, that's basically just how it works. Your body is made to recharge. Your emotions are made to recharge. And you can't live a fully blossomed, developed, happy, full life when you're constantly on the verge of burning out and breaking down. So yeah, those are my thoughts on burning out and taking care of yourself. I would really challenge you to write down what you need in the 4 areas that I mentioned. Just let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Thanks, bye.